With Lucky Dog Productions today.
All right.
Hey everybody, I'm in the kitchen again today. I'm going to be doing is making a couple pumpkin pies and also a pumpkin apple pie. And thought I'd show you a little bit how I make them. And we'll start out here. We're going to show you some of the ingredients that we're going to be using. Alright, here's some of the ingredients we're going to be using in our pumpkin pies and our pumpkin apple pie. And so we got sugar and some flour. I'll be using some light brown sugar. Got a couple pre-made deep dish pie crusts. Easier than making my own. You can make your own, but I'm just going to use the pre-made ones. I'm using Fuji apples. Fuji is the sweeter apples. I like my apples sweet. I don't like them tart or nothing, so I'm going to have to be cutting those up, and I'll dice them nicely fine. Going to be using some pumpkin pie mix, evaporated milk, and a little smaller can of pumpkin pie mix. Got some cinnamon, some pumpkin pie spice, nutmeg, and ginger, and there might be a few other ingredients that I add as I go on. But here's some of my tools. Got a knife and a peeler, and also have my iPad set up here with the I'm going to start up here. I'll show you the recipe. And so it's handy with me. I got it right here beside me. And so I have my iPad there as my recipe there for my Dutch apple pie, my pumpkin Dutch apple pie. And so the first thing I'm going to be doing here is peeling apples and cutting them up and dicing my apples up into nice little chunks. Okay, I'm going to be needing 2 cups of apples, and this is a 2-cup cup. And so what I'm going to do is I'll be peeling. I'm thinking I'm probably going to take there's probably at least 4 of these, maybe 5. We're going to peel 4 at first and dice them up, see what we got to fill this up for 2 cups of apples. Alright, I've got 4 apples peeled now. Next process is cut them up and then dice them into some fine chunks. Alright, I got my apples all diced up real nice here. Nice little fine chunks there. Got a little more than 2 cups, but we're going to, next thing, put the sugars and stuff in it. Alright, now I got my apple mixture made all up there. It called for a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of flour, and lemon juice. I didn't put that in, don't like lemon, and also cinnamon. And I added a little extra brown sugar to it to give it a little bit more. And so this is my my mixture there for the apples. Next I'll mix up my pumpkin. Alright, here's my the pumpkin pie layer. And what we've done here is we put in 1.5 cups of pure pumpkin, and a cup of evaporated milk, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of butter. We put in a little more than 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of ground nutmeg, and I also added some pumpkin pie spice. So this is my mixture. We'll set it aside. We got to make our crumb topping next. Alright, here's our pie. We put the apples in the bottom, and we took the pumpkin mixture and poured it over top and smoothed it out evenly. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to put it in the oven at 375 for 30 minutes, and then after 30 minutes we're going to take it out and add the crumb topping. Alright, this is the crumb topping. They called use flour and white sugar, and they had called for some nuts. I didn't have nuts, and I usually don't put nuts in things. So what I did is I used some brown sugar and flour, and a little more crunch, I put a crumbled up Ritz cracker. Put 2 of them in there, and that's going to be our crumb. Alright, here's my pumpkin pie, the filling for it. It went by kind of the can, but you know, I used 2 apple shells. This will make 2 pies, probably a little bit more. Did 4 eggs, 1.5 cups of sugar. I did a teaspoon of salt, and I added more than 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and I also add more than 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, more than 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. I also add pumpkin pie spice, 1 can of this pumpkin pie filling here, and mix it all up. We'll put it in 2 pie shells. We'll start out baking it at 450 for 10 minutes. We'll reduce it down to 350, and do it for another 40 or 45 minutes or till it's done. So this is the beginnings of my pumpkin pie. Alright, I've got the crumb topping on it, and now we're going to put it back in and bake it for about another 20 minutes. See, I had a little extra filling there. I made a couple little side dishes. That's to sample. Alright, here's my Dutch pumpkin apple pie. Looks pretty good. Came out pretty nice there. I had a couple little extras here, little treats on this side. So that's just going to let it higher and cool now. Our next step, we're going to go ahead and bake our pumpkin pies. They're all ready to go. Alright, here's my pumpkin pies. They called for it to make 2 pies. But as you can see, I've got 3 pies here. And they always swell up. You know, so it's like, why not just make 3 out of them? So that's what I did. We're going to get ready to put them in the oven. We'll put them in at 450 for 10 minutes, and then we'll take it down to 350 and bake them for another 40-45 minutes or until the knife comes out clean and they're done. So this is our next step. Alright, I've got my 3 pumpkin pies out of the oven. I always get pretty dark crusts on that. I know you could take tin foil and put it on it, but it really doesn't hurt nothing. But they're done. Got my 3 pumpkin pies. I've got my apple pumpkin pie and a couple little tarts for desserts. That's for beforehand. That's before Thanksgiving. So they should be good. I gotta say, this pumpkin pie just looks like it's photo quality. It really came out looking good on it. We'll see how it tastes. My little trick was 2 Ritz crackers crunched up into the topping, and they take Ritz crackers and make a fake apple pie. I've never made one, but I've heard they make those. So, but yeah, there's my Thanksgiving Day pies, and so they should be good. I hope you enjoyed watching me make some pies this morning. This is what, Tuesday. I figure I got things to do tomorrow, and definitely things to do on Thursday for cooking. We was talking a minute ago. You know, when you cook a Thanksgiving Day meal, you spend quite a few hours and a lot of time and effort into it, and then you sit down to dinner, and it takes probably less than a half hour to devour it. It's gone just like that. So, but the rewards, if people is enjoying it and it's good and everybody likes it, then that's what matters, you know. So so here's part 1 of doing the pies. Tomorrow I'm going to work on brining my turkey. I never brined a turkey before, so I'm going to brine the turkey this year. So that's what I'm going to work on for tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. So any comments, any way you do your pies, or any suggestions how I can even do mine better, leave them in the comment section below. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Hit that little bell thing at the top, and it'll ring, like it'll notify you whenever I've got a new video or happen to have a live stream. But I do a new video every day, so usually post them early in the morning. So usually the time you get out of bed, I have a video up. So till the next time, we'll see you again.